rationalize, justify it, if you will, what I was doing by speaking through my work. First of all, they say in Hollywood, like that's a place. Because we're in the movie business, and we live in Los Angeles. But I'm not in Hollywood. There's no place where Hollywood people, well, maybe there is a place where Hollywood people meet, but I don't go there.
Unlike many artists in the industry who compromise their integrity for money and fame, there are true artists like Denzel Washington. He has never bowed down to industry power holders or sacrificed his principles for financial gain. Denzel's success, his wealth, fame, and respect stems from his genuine and authentic intentions. Starting from humble beginnings as a television actor in obscurity, he has emerged as a trailblazer, rising like a phoenix. In a world where dreams often falter, he stands out as only the second African-American performer to win the coveted Oscar for Best Actor, yet his fame extends beyond that golden statuette. This individual possesses a passion for roles that go beyond fiction, embodying real-life figures with remarkable grace.
But they weren't bad jobs. It's like, people say, oh, the difficulty of making a movie. I'm like, send your son to Iraq. That's difficult. It's just a movie. It's like, relax.
He's the virtuoso of cinema's delicate balance, navigating racially sensitive subject matter that captivates audiences and leaves them yearning for more. But there's more to this cinematic maestro. He's not confined to poignant dramas alone. He also crafts gripping thrillers that resonate at the box office. It's his portrayal of real-life heroes and his unflinching exploration of racially charged narratives that have solidified his legacy in the history of cinema.
I know, you know, we all know what it is when a hot comb hits your hair on a Sunday morning, what it smells like. That's a cultural difference.
Denzel Washington, a living legend and source of inspiration for many, raises a compelling question. Why does it appear that the industry and the system might not fully support him and even fear him? Delving into this intriguing phenomenon may reveal insightful factors that shed light on this enigma. Denzel Washington's journey from a small town near New York City to the pinnacle of Hollywood is truly remarkable. Born on December 28, 1954, he initially pursued journalism, enrolling at Fordham University in 1977. However, destiny had different plans for this talented individual, and soon he discovered his passion for acting. With unwavering determination, he moved to San Francisco and refined his skills at the American Conservatory Theater. During an interview, he expressed a desire to prioritize theater and directing over acting in movies.
Everybody got to turn around and you want to do what? You want to be what?
Citing concerns about the formulaic nature of many films.
It's kind of a naive thing to say, but that's how I felt. I said, well, I'm going to do acting. I just want to be the best. And I had come into it really with no background.
Washington swiftly transitioned from an aspiring actor to a television sensation, captivating audiences with his powerful presence and versatile performances. His portrayal of Dr. Philip Chandler in the acclaimed medical series St. Elsewhere captured hearts for an impressive 6-year run.
From other doctors, but no one ever mentioned that you were a bigot.
No, you don't get it.
Washington's venture into the silver screen commenced with his debut in the 1981 comedy Carbon Copy. In this film, he played the part of a long-lost son to a reputable businessman residing in an all-white neighborhood.
You're liable to go into a coma when you get behind this. Hi, Daddy.
This role would lay the groundwork for the compelling and racially charged characters that would shape his career in the years to come.
I looked at you in that big office and I kind of went crazy inside.
Denzel's career reached a pivotal moment when he won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor in the 1989 film Glory, a poignant historical masterpiece where he portrayed a runaway slave turned Confederate soldier. This was followed by his Oscar-nominated performance as African-American activist and Black nationalist leader Malcolm X in the '92 film titled after the iconic leader.
God is great. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you all. 40 years I've been chasing Sydney. They finally give it to me. What do? They give it to him the same night.
Washington was determined to break free from the confines of typecasting. Rather than accepting similar roles, he embraced the challenging character of a homophobic lawyer representing a client with AIDS in the '93 film Philadelphia, starring alongside Tom Hanks.
Writing an important document, maybe for a few hours, and then making it look like the responsible lawyer misplaced it.
Prepared to fall head over heels for Denzel Washington even more. In a riveting 2012 Times Talk interview, Washington revealed an awe-inspiring decision to decline a lucrative film role. This bold move was a result of sage advice from none other than Hollywood legend Sidney Poitier. Poitier cautioned Washington that accepting the role could drastically alter his actor brand. Washington firmly expressed to the interviewer that the film's content and premise would do nothing but, quote, perpetuate racism under the guise of comedy. He said, quote, I got a part in a movie in 1986. I call it The One They Couldn't K. The character, he art a white woman. They tried to electrocute him, but it didn't work and he became a cult hero. Then they tried to hang him. There were some Jewish people in the audition room who said it is funny. And I said to them, yeah, it's like you bring some Jewish people into a room and they think it is a shower, but it is gas. And they said, right. And I said, right. That ain't funny. So to me, it was not funny to put a rope around my MF neck, and I made a point. I called Sydney and told him, man, they are offering me $600,000 to play The One They Couldn't K. And he told me, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I will tell you this. The first 2, 3, or 4 films you do in this business will dictate how you are perceived. As a result of this sage decision, he declined the role and patiently waited for roughly 6 months. Then the remarkable opportunity came his way to take on a leading role in Cry Freedom, the 1987 biographical film centered on the life of South African activist Stephen Biko. This pivotal film left an indelible mark on his career, not only securing his first Oscar nomination, but also entirely reshaping the trajectory of his professional life.
It could have gone an entirely, you never know. It could have gone, my whole career could have gone an entirely different way,
Okay.
Yeah.
In the 1990s, Denzel Washington further cemented his status as one of Hollywood's most esteemed actors. However, another 90s thriller achieved even greater success. David Fincher's Seven, released in 1995, starring Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman in prominent roles. Interestingly, Washington was initially considered for the role of Detective David Mills, ultimately portrayed by Pitt. The film follows Detective Mills and William Somerset as they track down a serial killer who bases his M's on the 7 deadly sins.
Seven, the movie Seven, the part that Brad Pitt played. They asked me first, and I just thought, this is so dark.
Seven turned out to be a massive success, grossing over $327 million worldwide and ranking as the 7th highest grossing film of '95. David Fincher has since become a highly regarded director known for films like Fight Club, The Social Network, and Gone Girl. However, when Washington was initially offered the lead role in Seven, Fincher's career was at a different stage, and he was still dealing with the disappointment of his previous project, Alien 3. Washington, unaware of Fincher's future success, made the mistake of turning down the film, believing that it wouldn't garner much attention. He later admitted, quote, I just didn't think anybody was going to see it. I don't know what I made instead, I can't remember, but I turned Seven down. I guess Brad Pitt is happy about that. Despite starring in 3 films in 1995, Crimson Tide, Virtuosity, and Devil in a Blue Dress, none of them achieved the level of success that Seven did. Upon watching Fincher's film, Washington experienced a moment of regret and acknowledged that he had missed out on something special. Nevertheless, he maintains a gracious attitude, noting that the role wasn't meant for him but was in fact a perfect fit for Brad Pitt. Despite this missed opportunity, Denzel Washington's career continued to flourish, marked by his remarkable success in the world of cinema. With each new role, Washington continued to diversify his career. He starred opposite Julia Roberts in the popular thriller The Pelican Brief and caused a stir during the filming of Virtuosity in 1995, when he refused to kiss his female co-star, citing concerns about the audience's response to an interracial kiss.
That was Denzel's decision, but for me, I was kind of like, wow, bummer.
Well, this leads us to the fact that he is a true family man who has always cared for his wife and children. This can be seen that unlike many artists, he has always tried to keep his family out of this Hollywood scene. Denzel Washington and his wife Pauletta are indeed a rare example of a successful and enduring Hollywood marriage, having stayed together for 36 years despite the challenges faced by many celebrity couples. They've managed to keep their family grounded and out of the constant public scrutiny typical of Hollywood.
I don't know. I got a good woman, that's the first thing. And, just keep working at it. What is it, 30? Oh, I'm sorry.
Despite all of their children being involved in the entertainment industry, they've maintained a balance that allows their kids to live relatively private lives. Denzel Washington's daughter, who has stayed out of the public eye, demonstrates a deliberate choice by the family to protect their children from the pressures and pitfalls of fame. Denzel's approach to raising his family away from the Hollywood spotlight has earned him respect from the media, which tends to be intrusive into celebrities' private lives. By prioritizing privacy and normalcy for his family, Denzel has set an example of how to navigate fame while maintaining personal integrity and family values. Denzel and Pauletta's second child, daughter Katya Washington, has forayed into movies in multiple roles. She has explored the fields of acting and has tried her hands at direction as well. Her background allowed her to have an innate connection with the movie business, which she plans to explore to her heart's content. She also attached herself with various acclaimed film projects, and mainly involved herself in various roles behind the camera. As of now, Katya has not ventured into any acting roles like her siblings Olivia and John David, but has donned several roles in various arenas of filmmaking. She is quite the reclusive figure, and does not have much social media exposure. In fact, no reliable and official social media handles can be detected so far. Most celebrity offspring are raised to be in the limelight, but Katya has managed to keep her life private to the point where she doesn't even have a social media presence of her own. Despite being a secret girl behind the scenes, Katya has worked hard in turning her talents to financial records and has amassed a net worth of $2 million USD in the short time she has been associated with the movie industry. Having famous parents is never easy, and it may be very hard to match up to the expectations, especially if you plan to make your career in the same field as someone as great as Denzel. Getting back to Denzel's career, in 1999, Denzel Washington received a Golden Globe for his portrayal in The Hurricane, a compelling film based on the unjust incarceration of boxer Reuben "Hurricane" Carter. Despite controversy surrounding the film's historical accuracy, Washington's dedication to impactful storytelling remained steadfast.
I'll go anywhere you want me to go in this penitentiary, but you let it be known in no uncertain terms.
In Remember the Titans, he portrayed Herman Boone, the coach who brought together a racially divided high school football team, adding another memorable chapter to his career marked by powerful true stories. The pivotal moment came with his role as a rogue LAPD cop in Training Day. This performance earned him the Academy Award for Best Actor, marking him just the second African-American actor following Sidney Poitier to achieve this prestigious honor.
I'll always be chasing you, Sidney. I'll always be following in your footsteps.
But it seems like he never was happy for Oscars. Denzel Washington didn't hold back when it came to addressing the perceived lack of fairness in the Oscars. He openly acknowledged his own first-hand experiences of this unfairness within the entertainment industry. Despite these challenges, he offered a powerful piece of evidence urging individuals to just do the best you can do. When asked about the criticism surrounding the Oscars' lack of diversity, Washington shared his perspective, saying, quote, "I've lived it. I've been the guy at the Oscars without my name being called, when my name is called, when everybody thought they were going to call my name and they didn't. For those who believe the Academy's process is unfair, his response was resolute, stating, quote, "Yeah, and so what? You gonna give up? If you're looking for an excuse, you'll find one." As for whether race is being used as an example, Washington maintained, "You can find it wherever you like. Can't live like that, just do the best you can do." In the past 2 years, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences faced heavy criticism for nominating only white actors in the acting categories. However, there was optimism for change this year, with several actors of color in notable films, including Fences, receiving well-deserved attention and potentially being recognized for their outstanding performances. Notably, Jimmy Kimmel highlighted that Morgan Freeman and Washington have made significant contributions to the Oscars. Anyways, showing his recklessness, Washington's prowess extended behind the camera, as he made his directorial debut with the autobiographical drama Antoine Fisher in 2002. Here, he played the role of a naval psychiatrist, Dr. Jerome Davenport, alongside the volatile young sailor Antoine Fisher.
Would you like to step into my office?
While Washington often gravitated toward truth-inspired stories and racially sensitive topics, he showcased his versatility in several action-packed thrillers, including Out of Time, Deja Vu, Inside Man, and remakes like The Manchurian Candidate. In 2010, Washington took a daring leap into the action genre, starring in the R-rated post-apocalyptic epic The Book of Eli, marking a significant departure from his traditional roles. Denzel Washington's career has been an extraordinary journey marked by his ability to transform into a diverse array of characters. From historical figures to complex individuals, he has cemented his status as one of Hollywood's most respected and versatile actors, all while boldly tackling issues of race, injustice, and human complexity on the big screen.
He said, the less, the more. And I never forgot that. Less is more. for an actor. That doesn't mean you're not doing anything, but I just took that approach.
Denzel Washington's courage in addressing racism is commendable, and he has indeed taken actions that few would dare to undertake. Regrettably, he hasn't been exempt from experiencing racism even within the entertainment industry and film world. A particularly distressing incident emerged when he became the focus of the Sony Pictures hack. Shockingly, executives within the company discussed that he should not be considered for lead roles in international films simply because he is black. The discriminatory sentiment was conveyed in emails following the release of his movie The Equalizer. An unnamed producer expressed this disturbing viewpoint to Sony chairman Michael Linton, who was urged to consider the gravity of this comment's inappropriateness or provocation. Quote, "I am not saying The Equalizer should not have been made or that African-American actors should not have been used. I personally think Denzel Washington is the best actor of his generation," wrote the producer. "Casting him is saying we're okay with a double baseball term if the picture works. He's reliable at the domestic box office, safe, but has not had a huge success in years. I believe whenever possible, the non-event pictures, extra bets, should have a large inherent upside and be made for the right price. Here there isn't a large inherent upside." Despite achieving a substantial global box office gross of $191 million, with nearly half of all ticket sales originating from international markets, the leaked emails shockingly contended that the overseas earnings were insufficient due to Denzel Washington's race. This unfortunate revelation underscores the persistence of racial biases and prejudice even in the face of undeniable success. Quote, "I believe that the international motion picture audience is racist. In general, pictures with an African-American lead don't play well overseas," the producer continued. Denzel Washington's own account further underscores the mistreatment he endured. During a conversation at TIFF, he disclosed an unsettling incident from about 3 decades ago in Boston. He and his wife, Pauletta, were in town for one of her plays, and while at their hotel, they were mistakenly assumed to be a P&S worker by a group of people. This misunderstanding led to a physical altercation, prompting the involvement of security. Additionally, Washington shared that while walking to one of his wife's shows on another occasion, he was subjected to a racial slur being called the N-word.
You know, race relationships have to do with race relationships. You're white or whatever you are, I'm black or whatever I am. We're standing here talking now.
He recalled a painful childhood memory from Florida, where he was subjected to racial slurs, a moment that deeply affected him. His mother had to explain the hurtful term to him, marking an early encounter with prejudice that shaped his understanding of the world. In his speeches, Denzel Washington consistently warns future generations that racism persists because youth are still being taught to hold biases. While he dreams of a world without racism, he believes a new generation is being raised with racist views, underscoring the ongoing challenge of confronting and overcoming prejudice and discrimination.
You can't legislate love. The President of the United States can't legislate us into liking each other. We have to step forward and ask questions about each other and engage.
In a rare interview, Morgan Freeman openly expressed his admiration and envy for Denzel Washington's career trajectory. Freeman revealed, quote, "I'm very envious of Denzel's career because he's doing exactly what I wanted to do." Freeman further disclosed that he recently spoke with Washington, who shared his feeling of being in the autumn of life, while maintaining a strong ambition. Denzel actively seeks out collaborations with esteemed directors like Paul Thomas Anderson and Steve McQueen, demonstrating his enduring passion and drive to pursue compelling projects.
Denzel and I were in a Joseph Pack production of Coriolanus. I was the lead.
Denzel Washington and Morgan Freeman, esteemed figures in Hollywood and close friends, have shown unwavering support for each other in various circumstances. Denzel proudly expresses his pride in his black identity while emphasizing that his essence should not be confined to race alone. Morgan Freeman shares this perspective, firmly believing that he too should not be reduced to his racial identity. According to Washington, quote, "We were very serious actors, and there weren't a lot of serious black actors for us to emulate, to follow, to admire. Both actors are convinced that their contributions to entertainment and society transcend racial boundaries. They emphasize their talents and achievements as multifaceted individuals, refusing to be constrained by narrow labels. Their unified message highlights the power of talent, resilience, and the shared aspiration to be acknowledged for their artistry and character beyond the color of their skin."
What I actually said to Denzel was, that was a great suggestion.
Have you noticed whether Hollywood's elite or the industry itself has ever embraced and promoted the teachings and lessons Denzel Washington learned during his time in the business? It's an interesting question. Denzel seemed to suggest a certain truth about the industry, and there is evidence supporting the idea of bias and authoritarianism within it. Take Dave Chappelle, for example. Dave Chappelle has direct experience with both the positive and negative sides of Hollywood. He has stories that reveal the reality behind the scenes, beyond the glitz and glamour. Despite Hollywood's allure, Dave understands that wealth can't fully compensate for the challenges posed by powerful figures in the industry.
So much money, how could you do that, and blah, blah, blah. But you know, if I had taken that money and finished the show, I would have got the money, but I might never have been the same.
It's unfortunately true that Hollywood has a history of racist and discriminatory practices. Black actors often face greater challenges and obstacles in accessing opportunities compared to others in the industry. Addressing these deep-seated issues of systemic oppression won't be quick or easy, especially since those in power continue to exert control over the industry. The struggle for equality and fair representation in Hollywood is ongoing, and it requires sustained effort and advocacy to bring about meaningful change. Despite the obstacles, many in the industry are working towards creating a more inclusive and equitable environment for all actors and creators. Rather than embracing greater inclusivity for minorities and Black individuals, the executives at Fox took a different approach, focusing on increasing inclusion for white individuals, even within a show led by a Black man. Dave Chappelle asserts that he was the driving force behind every aspect of his own Chappelle show.
It was completely outside of my frame of reference. I've been in show business since I was 14. And I've heard the stories of what happens.
Nonetheless, he received a directive to alter the show's lead cast to feature a white woman. Dave Chappelle had a strong desire for Black representation in his show, given his substantial contributions to its success. He found it disheartening to be excluded from such critical decisions. This decision to change the cast left Dave deeply disillusioned. At the time, numerous shows featured all-white casts without raising any concerns. However, when a Black man created a show aimed at representing his community by casting Black individuals, the executive suddenly raised objections. Dave openly discussed this issue in an interview. He said, quote, "They fly me out for a creative meeting. I'm in a room full of white people and they proceed to tell me why we need more white people on the show so it can have a more universal appeal. In a landscape with numerous shows targeting white audiences, Dave was pressured to reshape his show to accommodate the perspectives of white viewers. This network built itself on Black viewers, and what they're saying is white people are narcissistic. They don't want to watch Black people. They want to watch themselves. It tells every Black artist no matter what you do, you need whites to succeed. I felt like I was beaten up and completely degraded. It's disgusting and made me want to vomit." The executive producer of the show, Peter Tolan, was in full agreement with Dave's perspective. The racial biases within Fox Entertainment had deeply disappointed both Tolan and Dave. Tolan openly addressed the issue, stating, quote, "We were trying to do a realistic depiction of Dave's life, not a Black show, but a smart, funny show that happened to be Black. But Fox said there needs to be more white faces. Basically, Dave Chappelle cannot appear on Fox TV unless Whitey gets him in the door. It's embarrassing. And I realized I couldn't do it. I felt morally it was wrong." With the producer sharing Dave's disapproval, the question arises, who was behind these proposed changes? This incident served as a significant eye-opener for Dave, revealing the power dynamics within the industry. Despite these allegations, the higher-ups at Fox Entertainment vehemently denied any intention of racism, insisting that their suggestions were innocent in nature. The Fox network respects the unique perspective and integrity of each member of its audience, and to suggest anything less is disturbing and upsetting in light of our past, present, and future efforts. Dave was so disturbed by this incident that he did a special focusing on the issue of racism.
You think things just happen by accident? No. Sometimes white people make things happen.
Being a skilled comedian, Dave used humor and a lighthearted approach to address this issue, but the fact that he raised it in the first place underscores his genuine frustration and anger. Racism remains pervasive in Hollywood, and the executives and higher-ups have often played a role in perpetuating this imbalance. Dave's anger stemmed from the realization that, despite years of hard work and perseverance, his first major opportunity was marred by the interference of Hollywood elites solely due to the color of his skin.
I can't believe someone did that to me. And I don't think about it every day, because that was the worst thing that happened to me.
People are just as angry as Dave, as some of them have taken to social media to highlight just how much Hollywood is responsible for racism in the industry. One Twitter user wrote, quote, "Why do you think our people have just started to formally break into Hollywood? Like en masse in 2019. Maybe it's because it's racism. This is racism. Natives have and continue to be held back, actively in Hollywood from telling our stories, cause one crack, the dam breaks." Denzel Washington has always emphasized that a thorough understanding of cultural issues through education is paramount. He issues a stark warning that if the younger generations aren't properly educated about the sensitive topic of racism, it could spell imminent trouble for the future of the entertainment industry. But it seems like this thing smells unpleasant for the elites of this industry, and they never acknowledged his learnings and teachings.
Well, it starts in the home. You know, if the father's not in the home, the boy will find the father in the streets. Yeah. I saw it in my generation and every generation before me. And
Denzel Washington's extraordinary rise to global acclaim as an actor is deeply tied to his challenging upbringing, which significantly shaped his career path. His early life experiences have left with him a remarkable maturity that shines through not only in his acting but also in his character. Additionally, Denzel's strong faith adds a unique dimension to his persona in the often tumultuous world of Hollywood. The question arises, could Denzel Washington become a dominant force in the industry? Time will reveal the answer to this speculation as he continues to excel in his craft and inspire audiences worldwide. Denzel's impact on the industry may indeed grow, solidifying his status as a significant figure in Hollywood.